Welcome to Daily Variety, your daily dose of news and analysis for entertainment industry insiders. It's Tuesday, February 24th, 2026. I'm your host, Cynthia Littleton. I am co-editor-in-chief of Variety alongside Ramin Satuda. I'm in LA, he's in New York, and Variety has reporters around the world covering the business of entertainment. In today's episode, we'll hear from Variety's Michael Schneider, who takes the microphone for an interview with Bill Lawrence. Lawrence is one of the busiest showrunners in town, between Ted Lasso, Shrinking, HBO's upcoming Rooster, and the revival of Scrubs that lands on ABC and Hulu later this week. But before we get to that, here are a few headlines just in this morning that you need to know. Warner Brothers Discovery is taking it all in. The studio said this morning that it has received a new offer from Paramount Skydance. We're still not sure what the new price is. Warner Brothers is still formally recommending to shareholders that it support the Netflix deal, which is in force despite this break for renewed Paramount negotiations. We'll keep watch to see what all sides of this M&A triangle do next. Showrunners love to be novelists. Mara Braca Keel will publish her first novel in June from Crown's Storehouse Voices imprint. The title is The Revelations of Dion Daphne. Taylor Sheridan has set a deal with Simon & Schuster to deliver How Not to Die in Prison the same month. Here are some interesting facts that came out of Nielsen's fall multi-platform ratings report, as digested by Michael Schneider. From September 14th to January 4th, it was no contest for the title of most watched program. Stranger Things. The final season of the Netflix series dominated the fall with an average of 32.86 million viewers. That was followed in a distant second place by Netflix's docuseries Sean Combs' The Reckoning, which brought in 20.64 million. Paramount Plus's Landman weighed in at number 3 with 19.64 million viewers. CBS's Justin Hartley drama Tracker came in at number 4 with 16.65 million, followed closely by ABC's High Potential with 16.07 million. It's always good to know the numbers and know what people are really watching. All of these stories and so much more can be found on Variety.com right now. And now it's time for conversations with Variety journalists about news and trends in show business. I'm turning the microphone over this time to Variety TV editor Michael Schneider. He spent some quality time with showrunner Bill Lawrence. Lawrence talks about Scrubs, the show that really put him over the top as a series creator and showrunner. It's back with fresh episodes on ABC and Hulu starting Wednesday. Lawrence calls it season 9 of the show that ran from 2000 to 2008 on NBC and its final 2 years on ABC.
Thanks, Cynthia. Indeed, I am talking to the very, very busy Bill Lawrence. Bill, I've been covering you for 30 years now.
Michael, don't make us, man. Don't make us sound old.
You look good, by the way. You still have that boyish look. I don't know what your regimen is, but you're doing
no regimen. Good. I just try too hard. I'm very bangsy. I wear baseball hats a lot. It helps.
Yeah,
smoking.
Well, you still have that youthful energy, and again, I feel like you are the busiest that I've ever seen you, having covered you for as long as I have. So you're.
I don't know about It's funny. I think I'm the busiest you've ever seen me that I actually have shows on TV. I was always, even when I was always still grinding. Just had a healthy, couple of healthy 5 and 8 year gaps that I couldn't get anything on going or get anything on TV. It's just the way the business works.
So I guess like to rephrase that then, the most successfully busy I've seen.
Yeah, sure. I'll take it, by the way. The most marginally successfully busy.
Yeah, and not marginal at all. I mean, so as I'm talking to you, you're down in the Keys. You're finishing up season 2 of Bad Monkey right now. You're looking a little pink in the face.
We look late nights, some bright sun and some late nights, but it's fun, man.
And of course, Shrinking is on your television right now. Go to your Apple TV and check it out. Another fantastic season. It's so great to see you reunited with Michael J. Fox, of course, which
career highlight, man. I get to work with him. He's my first mentor out here, him and Gary Goldberg. And the fact that I get to work with him again is like a gift. I can't believe him. He made the mistake of saying, he's like, I saw him. He's like, "You're doing a show about Parkinson's and I'm not on it." And I'm like, "I thought you were tired, man. And that's a horrible mistake you made because now I'm going to make you do it all the time."
Yeah, and I didn't mean to age us, but when I think about it, I mean, it is like, can you believe that it's now been 30 years since Spin City launched?
You know what? I try to hide from it because it was so long ago. But one of the safety nets I have working now, and one of the reasons we can do a lot of shows is, the production designer of Shrinking is the exact same, and the new Steve Carell show Rooster is the production designer from Spin City. Yeah, his name's Cabot. He did Spin City too. There's so many people I've been working with now for over 30 years, and that kind of safety net is one of the reasons I'm able to do a lot of things. I get to take credit for other people's hard work a lot.
The fact that you do almost have your own repertory company, or there are the Bill Lawrence folks who we get to see time and time again. I think one of the most recent Shrinking episodes I was watching, Zach directed that episode. You do have like the great people that you've worked with through the years that you continue to work with.
It's really interesting because I think too often people think it's like some kind of it's like the Bill Lawrence players are a repertoire thing. The truth is, that one of the cool there's plenty of crappy things about our business, Michael, and you know that. But one of the cool things about it is if you're lucky enough to work with talented men and women who you would want to spend time with anyway, whether they're an actor, an actress, a composer, director, a camera person, or whatever. In our business, you can keep working with it, and I'm always confused why people don't. I had so much fun, doing the Rooster show and having Alan Ruck on there from Spin City Days and Connie Britton, too, both of them. I mean, I wouldn't have put them in the same scene, necessarily right away, but I'm lucky that I get to enjoy what I do that way.
Yeah, and see, we'll have to talk soon about Rooster as well. But the other reason why we're talking today is, of course, the launch, the return of Scrubs. A couple years ago, we did a reunion panel at the ATX TV Festival. You and the entire cast, and of everyone up on stage, you were the most optimistic that this was going to happen. A reunion was going to happen. Everyone else was like, "Yeah, we'll see about the schedules." They were a little they weren't sure. Like, it was nice talk, but you were determined to get the band back together.
Well, I just thought it would happen. I'll tell you why is that maybe this will be an interesting take on this because I think people often go, "Why would you reboot this?" or "Why wouldn't you reboot this?" For me, the answer isn't really about storytelling as much as it is what we've already started to talk about. If you enjoyed spending time with and working with people in a way that kind of affected your life in such a, some of the most positive things in my life happened. Most of my kids were born on that show, I mean, I've made close, lifelong friends. I would think you would be crazy to not take a shot, even if the worst thing that happens is that you get to spend some time again with people you love. I just knew that we were all so close and we had reached points in our lives that we weren't getting to spend as much time with each other because everybody's successful and doing their own thing. That everybody would kind of ultimately be receptive to giving it another spin and seeing if we had fun again.
Yeah, and I think it's very much like seeing old friends, and to some degree, we've had a chance to see Zach and Donald, collaborate on other projects, including their
Yeah.
podcasts and ads. So in some ways, it's sort of continuing this relationship with this group of people and seeing where they are now, seeing where these characters are now.
Oh, look, the most interesting thing, look, I have to always be super careful on this one because I don't love to take, I love to take credit for other people's work as much as I can, but then sometimes throw it. But this one in a cool way, one of the reasons that, we took a while to get back together is this is a show that's owned by Disney. I work for the good folks at Warner Brothers. Asim Batra was one of the original writers in Scrubs as the showrunner. Warner Brothers has been kind enough to let me kind of, dabble and look in every once in a while. But for me, I needed to hear at least Asim's pitch and what she was kind of excited to do. And I think the thing that we never got to do before was to see what it's like when those kids switch roles. The kids from the original show, Sarah and Judy and Donald and Zach, who I think, were barely, 90 years old between the four of them. You know what I mean? When in real life, when we started that show, what it's like when the students become the teachers,
Yeah.
and I just think the value of seeing that Donald and Zach's both character life and real life, that their friendship survived, that seeing that John McGinley's character, Dr. Cox, is uncompromising in who he is and his place in the world, that Judy is still the caretaking nurse that we all would love to imagine exists behind every door that you go into in a hospital. I thought that was a really interesting take on it, seeing them get frustrated with the kids that are kind of representative of who they used to be.
It's a different generation. They act differently. They have different takes on things.
People that are in medicine right now more than ever are there because they want to be of service. Look, I'll tell you right now, my favorite medical show on TV is The Pit. I'll put Scrubs as a close second, but I'm obsessed, and it kind of represents that world of what it means to be dropped into a place that, on some level, just by the very simple act of being there, it's because you want to be of service and do things that matter for the world. Man, that's just kind of a storytelling arena that always hooks me.
No, not to give too much away, but this new season of Scrubs opens up a very pit-like for folks to get a little bit of their fix before reality sets in. Yeah, are we calling this a new season, a new series? How are we? What's for the canon, for the folks who care about canon?
Oh, for the folks that care about canon, I would say that this is the ninth season of Scrubs, and it just takes place 20 years later.
Yeah.
And because it's so funny, man, because please know that I have no qualms about anything that anybody says about any of my shows. I talk about TV the same way. I sometimes go on social media and my wife's always like, you're insane, but I'll poke at people that are criticizing, but it's always under the umbrella of joking, because I do the same thing about the shows I love. So it's always been interested in the narrative of this show. The ninth season of Scrubs wasn't supposed to be Scrubs. It was called Scrubs Med, and it was supposed to be a fun spinoff. And as a spinoff on a new show, I don't regret it at all. And I think a lot of those actors and actresses, Mike Mosley and Eliza Coop and Carrie Bechet, Dave Franco, they were doing really funny, cool stuff. And if it was on a little show, it would have been interesting to see where it went. But for me, the show Scrubs ended the 8th year, and this is kind of picking it up 20 years.
Yeah. Some of those characters from season 9, they're in a different dimension or something.
Different world, man. They're in the same world where Neil Flynn was in the movie The Fugitive.
There you go. And maybe this the next spinoff, we bring them back.
They're also good. I would bring any of them back and just see if people notice. I just wouldn't mention it. It'd be fun to try.
Speaking of shows coming back, I know you're not actively involved with the Ted Lasso return, but anything you can share about that?
No. It's a weird position to be in at this point in my career that I'm as excited to see and watch something as anybody else. I'm super proud of my involvement in that show. I have the only thing that bummed me out is they stole Brett from me this year because Roy Kent had to be back there.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to spend as much time with him on Shrinking as usual. But I think it's going to be really cool lining up with kind of the Women's World Cup in Brazil, to be kind of following a girls team. And I'm excited to see the take on it. I've seen some of the take on it. It's really good.
Well, very cool. Well, I mean, it's a busy time for Bill Lawrence. Of course, we got Rooster coming up. We got Shrinking on the air right now. We got Scrubs returning. Bad Monkey back, TBD.
Probably. I would say late September, early October. Today is the last day of shooting, and unbelievable cast is Vince Vaughn and John Malkovich, Yvonne Strahovski, and just a lot of people that Caleb Randy Jones, who's such a good actor, and just that's one of the fun things about that show is you bring a bunch of cast members back that are awesome and a bunch of new people that might die or might live. You never know, but it's a blast, man. Shooting in the Keys.
Always a pleasure, man.
Michael, as always, man. It's fun to talk about TV with you. You're as big a nerd as I am.
As we close out today's episode, here's a few things we're watching for. The Actor Awards air Sunday on Netflix. We'll hear from the telecast showrunner and executive producer, John Brockett, on Thursday's episode of Daily Variety. Later this week, Variety will celebrate in print and online the Silver Jubilee of Kelly Ripa as the host of Live. From Regis to Strahan to Seacrest to now Mark Consuelos, Ripa has been in the chair of the syndicated morning show for 25 years. Early next week, Variety's Festivals and Markets team will head to Johannesburg for the Joburg International Film Festival. We'll produce 4 digital dailies starting March 2nd. Before we go, Congrats to Greg Prada. He's been promoted to Chief Financial Officer for Sony Music Publishing effective March 31st. He's based out of New York and reports to Chairman and CEO John Platt. Prada has been with Sony Music Publishing since 2012. Thanks for listening. This episode was written and reported by me, Cynthia Littleton, with contributions from Michael Schneider. Sticks, nicks, hick, picks. Please leave us a review at the podcast platform of your choice, and please tune in tomorrow for another episode of Daily Variety.